Hey guys, let's have a conversation about the Libra full moon, please. On the 28th of March, 2021. Okay, so, well, hello. This is a pretty big full moon. It happens at 8 degrees Libra. It happens in direct opposition to a conjunction of the Sun and Chiron and Venus, right? So let's talk about that. Full moons are times of assessment, right? Of complete illumination. It is time to take stock of what is going on, to be in gratitude for what you have, for the lessons that you are given, and to begin to work with the concept of what we are, what's not working, right? What we need to release in that light of the full moon, what we need to claim, what we need to own, right? It really is that moment of clarity. In Libra, this is about one-on-one relationships. This is about harmony. This is about balance, justice, right? On all the levels, right? So it is how you relate to others. And as we have the moon in opposition to Sun, Chiron, and Venus in Aries, so let's talk about that briefly, shall we? The Sun is your will, your ego, your vitality, the energy of your being. Chiron is that wound and your healing. And then Venus is the energy of beauty, sensual pleasure, what you love, right? Your money, your finances, your worth, your esteem, all those things that are beautiful and worthy of love and adoration in this lifetime. It is about your five senses, right? So we're talking about how you create the idea of worthiness in and of yourself. And this is in direct opposition to a Libra full moon. So this is all about how you create patterns in your own relationships, how you claim or disclaim your worth, how you claim or disclaim your wounding, and how you act upon them and bring them into the world, or how you let those wounds affect your life experience, your drive, your worthiness of those Venusian things. And those are really big deals, right? We also have Mercury conjunct Neptune. So again, this is either a real challenge in your communication and expression, or it is a gift, a deepening of it, just depending on how that resonates in your personal chart. And then we've got, of course, Uranus square Saturn. We know all about that one. And then we have the North Node conjunct Mars in Gemini. It just so happens as well that Saturn and the Moon, I didn't get to see it, and the North Node and Mars, of course, are creating what is noted as a grand air trine, right? So this is easement in the ways that you and your feelings are able to shape your destiny in very practical, pragmatic ways. So at this full moon, the questions we might want to ask ourselves are, how are we in our own way? How could we get out of our own way? What stories are we telling ourselves that are keeping us from being, I knew that was coming, in our full expression? What are we telling ourselves we deserve or don't deserve? What are we telling ourselves about our past or our future that does not match with our present? Or how are we allowing our present to be shaped by our past and then keeping us out of creation mode for the future? And as we really sink into those things, and identify them, right, with this grand air trine and Mercury conjunct Neptune, we are in a beautiful kind of elevated moment to look at the situations and perhaps create from them in an elevated sort of way. And I don't mean that to be like elevated as in better. I just mean elevated as in more aware, okay? I'm not creating a hierarchical structure of good, better, best. I'm simply saying elevated as in more expanded, right? More aware of the macro and microcosms as we are in perspective of those two concepts. So there's a lot of air. There's a lot of water. And there's a lot of fire. Well, I mean, everybody's represented. But, you know, it's combustible, right? And what's really grounding us is the feeling aspect of this moon, right? This is the moon in Libra. We've got those big aspects of Mercury and Neptune in Pisces, right? Those are adding a depth to this potentially super airy situation where we're feeling ungrounded and unable to embody and ground and stabilize ourselves. So if we can take that opportunity, right, to pull into our feelings, into our heart, always in alignment. Yeah. So we've got the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands talk about grounding our fire. So the King of Pentacles is that resourced energy, right? We're talking about Venus in a big way. And we're talking about Uranus in Taurus still. And so with all this Venusian kind of energy, right, this is about our feelings, how we sit with our resources, tangible or intangible, right? What we have in our pocket, what we have in our bank account, what we have in our soul in terms of our esteem and our worth, right? We've got the Ace of Wands, a brand new way. All this fire represented the Sun and Chiron and Venus, asking us, please take this gift from the universe, put it in your pocket in gratitude, and then act upon it, right? Don't sit there, right? The king, they kind of have a tendency to want to hold back. But this is Aries season, guys. There is no holding back. Remember, we've been talking about ready, set, go. We're kind of getting to that point of combustion, right? The fire is here. Sun, Chiron, Venus, all in Aries. This is primal cardinal fire. This is the King of Pentacles, right? This is not a time to sit back and wait for things to come to you, King of Pentacles. This is the time to make your plan. Be ready to put it into action, right? We've got the Devil, and we have the Five of Swords, or the Seven. I'm so sorry, that's the Seven. So we have the Devil and the Seven of Swords, right? Now the Seven of Swords is about deception, and the Devil is about what holds us back. What are we attached to? In what ways are we keeping ourselves hostage? Okay, so let's look at this one for a moment as Saturn, right? And Uranus. Okay, so if we have Uranus and Taurus, right, that's that really earthy, grounded, devilish energy, right? The devil, not necessarily Taurus energy, but we're just going to roll with it for the moment. You know, this is a little Pluto, but Pluto's not really, really super aspected here. So we're going to roll with this as it came in. So if we look at this as Uranus and Saturn, right? Saturn in Aquarius is very airy energy. It's the possibility of deception depending on where you're making your choices, right? So the Seven of Swords is the total of that Five of Swords energy, which is about deception, looking backwards over your shoulder, because you're not making a decision, right? The Two of Swords is that decision energy. So how are you looking back at what's holding you hostage? How are you looking back at the ways that you have dug your heels in? How are you looking back at things that you're attached to but may not necessarily be serving you anymore? How are you avoiding or in resistance to what's brand new, right? How are you? That's a great question, Libra full moon. Then we have the Star, right? This is the card of Aquarius. This is about wish fulfillment. It's about hopes. It's about dreams. It's about super great optimism and wonderful, beautiful gifts from the universe. And the Four of Swords, you know, let's talk again about these swords as, I just love the way that they math up, right? So the Three of Swords is about heartache, loss, sadness. And the Ace of Swords is about brand new ideas. So how do we heal? Like, this is a card of silence, repose, of inward turning, of meditation, right? How do we learn from our heartbreaks? What is the new idea we gain from our own silence as we commune with the universe, right? And allow the universe to teach us in that inner journey of what's actually out there, of becoming aware of the ways that we're holding ourselves back, right? I mean, here's the deal. The Devil card only works because your heart is involved. It is an attachment of love, right? We attach to the things that we love, and then we get our hearts broken because we lose our faith, right? Where do you get it back? Well, you get it back in your passion, right? This is about groundedness, faith, right? When the universe hands it to you, you have to believe in your passion, in your fire, in what makes you want to get up out of bed in the morning. And then we have the beautiful Four of Wands, clarified by the Knight of Wands, right? The Four of Wands is super happy, home, joy. It's about union. It's about having all those gifts from the universe that you have waited for, right? This card comes after the Three of Wands, which is about long-term planning and waiting for your ships to come in. The Four of Wands is welcoming that energy in joy. And the Knight of Wands is about moving forward with those things that set your heart on fire, right? With those places you know you're going, where you are fully resourced, whether that is tangible or intangible. It's about having weathered your own heartache and then gotten that bit of wish fulfillment, right? It's about creating decisions, right? To release your attachments to those things that are not bringing you joy. That's all it ever takes, guys. I know we don't like to hear that, but that's all it ever takes, is the choosing to release. And so as we have this Sun and Chiron and Venus at 8 Aries, this is the time to really figure out, this is Chiron energy right here. What am I holding on to that's keeping me looking back, right? What is my wound here? How can I learn from it and actually get to where I'm happy, where my wishes are fulfilled, where my hope and optimism springs, right? Where I get that Four of Wands, beautiful, happy destiny. You know, that's that divine love card. It's the 1111, you know, kind of divine union card. It's beauty. It's balanced, reciprocated passion, right? Which is a beautiful thing. A very beautiful thing. And that Knight brings it in. And this is a really nice flow of energy here. I like it very much. Very much for this Libra full moon, which happens to be conjunct my sun. I'm just saying. Just saying. There we go. Oh, a raccoon. I like him. He's very cute. Oh dear. Oh, guess what? Okay. All right. Talented, shadowy, and in hiding. raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. At other times, it limits creativity. Who am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off this hook until the creative ego fear is resolved. So again, this is all about being in release of what is holding you back, what is keeping you from moving forward, right? This is energy that wants to move forward. This is all energy that wants to move forward, right? Fully resourced energy that wants to move nowhere but forward. Having processed one's wounds, right, toward one's own wish fulfillment. It's a beautiful thing. So at this full moon, really, really dig into those concepts of how are you keeping yourself small? How are you keeping yourself masked? How are you keeping yourself stuck and stagnant when clearly the universe has so much in store? Blessed full moon, guys. Yep. Till next time.